Yay, last section of the AS course. So this is trade and protectionism and things like that. So I've not got a really long presentation for this, but just a few slides for you. So in terms of changes in UK trade, the EU is one of the UK's main trading partners. But over the last 15 years, we've really had growth in trade with China and other Asian countries such as India, and just growth in these kind of really big emerging economies. So we used to call them like the BRIC countries, so Brazil, Russia, India, China. Russia maybe not so much at the moment. But we also have the mints as well, so Morocco, Indonesia, Nigeria, although kind of political uncertainty there and political upheaval might curtail that. And tea. I want to say Turkey. I think it is Turkey. But yeah, so we should start to see those emerging as big economies as well in terms of growth. And in terms of our current account, we run a deficit, and we've been running a deficit for a pretty long time, since before you were born probably, and it's because of the trading goods is a really large deficit on our accounts, but we do have a surplus in services, so we're pretty good at those, so especially financial services, I would say. So why do we engage in international trade? Well, it enables countries to specialise. So this is way back when we started the course in microeconomics. It enables any country to specialise in producing goods and services that they're best at, and trade the surplus that they make for products that they're not very good at producing. It also opens up your economy to more competition, which might not be good for domestic producers, but it does put downwards pressure on prices and upwards pressure on quality, so that's good for consumers. It gives you a wider range of goods and services, so that's good in terms of material living standards. And it's good for firms in the UK, because if you trade internationally, you've only got a limited amount of customers in the UK. So if you trade internationally, you can make more revenue, sell more items, hopefully make more profit. Okay, however, there is this thing called protectionism, and protectionism is the protection of domestic industries from foreign competition. So really, most economists have moved away from this concept of protectionism being a good thing. It's a bit more complicated than that, actually, but you get to know about this in the A2 course. But for the AS course, you need to know methods of protectionism. So one of the biggest ones is a tariff, and it's basically a tax on imported products, although you can have a tariff on exports as well, but you might learn about those in A2. Yeah, there was an A2 global economy exam, actually, which looked at not just a tariff, but it was a ban on exports of a certain type of product. It was rare earths from China, and it seems pretty counterintuitive. Why would you do that? But it was an interesting case study. Anyway, tariffs, when you look at them, should be taxes on imported products, and basically that increases the prices of them. It increases the cost of production, so it shifts supply to the left. This puts upwards pressure on the price, and you get this movement along the demand curve, so the equilibrium quantity decreases. It also raises revenue for the government, so they like that, and it makes people more likely to buy domestically produced products as opposed to the foreign products that have this tariff imposed on them. Or you could set a quota on something which limits the supply of a good or a service, so you get your supply curve, the second supply curve that is, being perfectly inelastic, and it should raise the price and therefore reduce the quantity demanded. And you could get an embargo, which is a ban of imports and exports with a particular country, usually for political reasons. This is being lifted a little bit at the moment between the US and Cuba, but if you go onto YouTube and you look at there's a nice BBC documentary from BBC News about life in Cuba or something. If you type that in, you should get it up, and it's fascinating to see the effect that embargo has had on their economy. You can also get other things such as regulation, red tape, voluntary export restraints. These are all explained in the textbook, but it's these two things here that are the main methods of protectionism. Yay, course over.